I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We're disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Hey, good morning, Rooted family. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries. Happy Monday morning. If you missed yesterday's Bible study and worship service, you might want to get back to see it. Just have received a lot of comments after the service and text messages and things. I started talking about not just the two kingdoms, but our two natures. And I think I hit on something that a lot of Christians struggle with. And Matt Ryan started it about 2 Sundays ago, and I just took his message and pushed that a little further down the road. And I think it's important. If you're someone struggling in your discipleship, if you're someone who is constantly getting riddled with guilt and shame and kind of feeling like you just can't get it done, watch the message. Because I think sometimes we don't realize that we've got some authority and power to do some things. All right, I don't want to preach my message again, so I'll get to this. Brian Vlaming, good morning. Steve Ponoworski, good morning. Nikki Chasen, good morning. The message still has me pumped up, so good. Thank you for that. Anne Marie, good morning. My sister Trish, good morning, down in Florida. Jackie Matus, good morning. Awesome message yesterday, thank you. Dave Irons, good morning. Firmly Rooted Greendale. So excited about Firmly Rooted Greendale and the goings on. I got Roger and Kendall working hard to get some things done. We are going to see if we can't, God can't move some mountains, and we get that church revitalized. So excited about that. Tiandra, good morning, sweetheart. Good to see you. We're in Matthew chapter 5. We are in the Sermon of the Mount. salt and light, fulfillment of the law. You've heard it said that you should not commit murder. I say if you hate someone, you've already done so. If you lust after someone, you've already committed adultery. We've talked about divorce, and now we're going to talk about oaths and eye for an eye. Understand the Sermon on the Mount must be read and understood from two perspectives. One is Jesus is acting like Moses right now. Matthew is setting up the scene that just like Moses brought the law down to Israel, Jesus is bringing the law of a new kingdom down to us. So there's the picture, but note the second part. It's got to be seen and read from God's kingdom's perspective. Jesus is telling us that there is a kingdom that now has touched this earth. It's got new rules, it's got new perspectives, it's got new things that are all rooted in God's love and all rooted in God's truth. Again, he says, you've heard that it said from people long ago, do not break your oath, but keep the oaths you have made to the Lord. But I tell you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it's God's throne, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. Simply let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. You got to believe me, I'm telling you the truth. I swear. We have these kind of conversations where I try to add words to try to convince somebody that I'm right. Jesus is saying, be firmly rooted in my love and be firmly rooted in my truth, and just let your yes be yes and your no be no, and be done. You don't need to swear on anything. God's truth is powerful enough. You don't need anything else. One of the things that I talk to people about, especially people who wrestle in relationships with anger, anger's of the devil. We got to be careful. Truth doesn't need my help. It's powerful all by itself. I don't have to scream, yell, cuss, swear, don't have to do anything. Truth being spoken in love is like the words of God that can move a mountain, shift a heart, take a heart of stone and make it a heart of flesh. We don't have to yell, scream to get our point across. And the moment we are, we might as well just stop. Because then who are we defending, ourselves or truth? And almost always we'll find that we're defending ourselves. I'm mad because it's I-centered. Jesus says, stop all of the I swear on a stack of Bibles, I swear on my kid's life, I swear on this. How about just let your yes be yes and your no be no and tell the truth? Speak the truth. It's amazing. Simple. You've heard that it was said, eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other. If someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. If someone forces you to go 1 mile, this would be like a Roman soldier forcing you to go a mile carrying his stuff, go with him 2. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. Hard. What does he mean? What doesn't he mean? The one thing for sure is he's not saying that we should be doormats of abuse, which I think a lot of Christians think that they need to endure abuse because of a text like this. You do not need to endure abuse in a loving relationship, because love is the opposite of abuse. Notice the whole thing is set up with someone who's evil. Watch how you deal with people who aren't Christians. Because your sacrifice, your not reacting the same way the world reacts, might just change them. Don't play the eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth with somebody whose eternal destiny is more important than your justice. And I know you're saying, but wait. Do you understand that Jesus was innocent? He allowed them to abuse him. He allowed himself to be flogged. He allowed himself to be all those things. Why? So he might redeem the world. What Jesus is saying is that from my kingdom's perspective, always think about the eternal consequence. Someone slaps me, so I slap them. What did I prove? That I can slap and hit just like they can, and I'm just like them. Someone's ugly, and I'm not ugly back. Someone's hurtful, and I'm not hurtful in response. That person is left to ask, who does that? And that's right. That's right. Jesus is trying to tell us that justice is no longer ours to dish out, because everyone will face justice. There will be a day, a judgment day. It's not now. With wisdom, we have to navigate in the kingdom of this world. And we have to see, from God's kingdom's perspective, how to deal with earthly situations. And we don't just deal with them because we have the right. Those rights are exercised in the kingdom of this world. What if there's a higher right and a higher goal and a higher thing, that if I do that, I will proclaim God's glory. If I do that, I will witness to his light. If I do that, someone might experience God's grace. What if we just forgive? What if we truly love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us? It doesn't make any sense from the kingdom of this world. Stop reading it from the kingdom of this world. Jesus is trying to talk to our new nature and trying to tell our new nature how we ought to navigate. All right, that's what I have for you. We're going to do the last section, which is titled Love Your Enemies. Wait for that one. Chapter 6, we're going to talk about giving, praying, fasting. Oh, Jesus hits it all. I mean, I think if Christians would just delve into the Sermon on the Mount and not go anywhere else until they figure this part out, our lives would be amazing. But we tend to, we say that we're rooted in Jesus' words, but I don't know. I don't know that we spend enough time to really try to understand, because some of them twist. They make our whole head and heart twist, and we don't like the twisting. But I'll leave it at that, or else I'm going to start sermonizing again. All right, the blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.